This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Next on the 5 o'clock report.
The house don't mean anything. My son survived, my wife survived, I survived, and it was just simply the mercies of God.
No country on earth wanted to accept them because their crimes are so uniquely monstrous and barbaric.
They really just need some space, and I just create that safe space for them.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. Storms are knocking at the door in Pennsylvania. A nor'easter just crossed the state line from Ohio. Southwestern Pennsylvania's in the bullseye. KDKA meteorologist Ron Smiley.
Severe weather risk for today. Rain showers around, including some pockets. That'll be some heavier rain. It's going to be with us a while. Strong wind speeds, a lot of lightning, and some downpours will be possible in any of that.
It's moving into Newcastle, Clarion, and Grove City at this hour. Kevin has your full forecast in a few minutes. To the west, weather maps across Tornado Alley still lit up. 31 tornadoes have touched down the last 48 hours. This Kentucky man told Fox News he lost his house and 3 neighbors in the twister.
The house don't mean anything. My son survived, my wife survived, I survived, even our 2 dogs survived, and all of our neighbors died, and it was just simply the mercies of God.
That EF3 tornado with 170 mile-per-hour winds created a 55-mile-long path of destruction, destroying 1,500 homes and damaging 5,000. In Missouri, St. Louis officials have found more problems with their tornado siren system after it failed to go off during Friday's deadly twisters. Commissioner Sarah Russell was away from the office and couldn't activate the siren, so she called the fire department when the storms rolled through.
Okay, you got the siren? Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you so much.
Mayor Kara Spencer says, though, that wasn't good enough.
There was a breakdown in communication. The directive to activate the sirens was not clear.
A test yesterday showed the fire department's siren would not have worked anyway. That's been fixed, and Russell has been put on paid leave. Head to head, President Trump hosted South Africa's president at the White House today and told him there is genocide happening in his country.
So we have thousands of people that want to come into our country, and they're white farmers, and they feel that they're going to die in South Africa, and it's a bad thing.
President Ramaphosa pushed back.
The issues that concern you as the United States,
those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about.
No bill yet, but Republicans are hustling to get President Trump's big, beautiful bill through the House. GOP Congressman Ralph Norman.
This bill will pass out of Rules Committee. Now, will it pass on the floor is another question.
CBS's Jared Hill has details.
The bill would make the president's 2017 tax cuts permanent. It works in his campaign promises of no taxes on tips and overtime. The measure also increases spending on national security while making cuts to Medicaid, food stamps, and clean energy subsidies.
Deportation battle. A federal judge wants a hearing today over the deportation of 8 migrants from South Sudan. Their home country wouldn't take them back, so where are they now? Homeland Security's Tricia McLaughlin.
No country on earth wanted to accept them because their crimes are so uniquely monstrous and barbaric. These heinous individuals have terrorized American streets for too long.
CBS reporter Nicole Skenga.
What was not said is where the plane is currently located and where the final destination is. We knew that it took off yesterday from Mexico. The arguments as to both sides, I mean, the judge here, the federal judge in Boston, not ordering that plane to turn around, but is concerned that these detainees were removed without any due process.
President Trump says due process is for American citizens, not criminal, illegal aliens. President Biden's office says he only learned of his prostate cancer diagnosis last week and hadn't had a PSA screen test in over a decade.
They're saying that because President Biden didn't get a PSA test while he was president, there was no possible way to know prostate cancer was potentially growing or metastasizing. Many men over the age of 75 don't get that test every single year.
CBS's Nancy Cordes. Congress is mourning the passing of one of its members members. Virginia Democrat Jerry Connolly. Fox's Ryan Schmelz has more.
The family of Jerry Connolly says the congressman died peacefully in his home surrounded by family at the age of 75. Connolly revealed he was battling esophageal cancer back in November. He was the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. Connolly is the third House Democrat to pass away this year.
Connolly's passing leaves Republicans with a 220 to 212 House majority. And Bible teacher, author, and Christian radio personality Kay Arthur has died. She started Precept Ministries with her husband more than a half century ago. Arthur authored over 100 books and Bible studies. Kay Arthur was 91. Still to come on the 5 o'clock report, eyes on an incoming nor'easter, Andrew Cuomo under investigation again, and an $1,800 baby bonus in New York. Those stories after weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. It's not like we need it, but we're going to get it. That is more rain. It'll be overcast, damp, and chilly tonight and tomorrow, with a good soaking rain continuing much of the time. Low tonight, 40s, high tomorrow, 50s. Friday, cloudy, chilly, additional showers, and high temperatures mostly in the 50s.
Thank you, Kevin. Checking the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. We're closely tracking that nor'easter that just crossed the state line from Ohio into PA. The front edge of that storm comes with 60-mile-an-hour winds, some hail possible. Southwestern Pennsylvania will be hardest hit, but the better part of Pennsylvania will see strong winds and thunderstorms tonight. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is being investigated by Donald Trump's Justice Department. CBS reporter Scott McFarland.
The criminal investigation centers on Cuomo's testimony to Congress regarding his response to the COVID-19 pandemic. U.S. House Republicans have been pressing the Department of Justice to investigate Cuomo for months over that.
Cuomo calls it election interference. He's running for mayor of New York City. FBI Director Kash Patel is investigating New York Attorney General Letitia James for her real estate transactions. The focus of the probe is mortgage fraud. James won a civil case last year against President Trump over similar accusations. Governor Hochul has announced an $1,800 baby bonus for eligible families in New York. Low-income families with new babies who are on public assistance can cash in on the savings.
That's why I say your family is my fight. That is the vision I've laid out for the state, a place families don't just survive, they thrive.
Hochul says the new state budget makes it so families with kids under 4 can receive a $1,000 tax credit and an additional $500 tax credit for each child up to the age of 16. Most school districts in New York State approved their local spending plans Tuesday on school budget day. Voters also decided the makeup of their local school board. These taxpayers in Penfield tell WHAM News they've never seen lines so long as they were yesterday.
This is the most we've ever had to wait, and we've lived here in Penfield since 91.
Penfield has had a pretty tumultuous few months, and I think people realize that you can't leave the future of education in other people's hands, and there's a lot of really strong opinions, so I think that's why you're seeing so many people here.
While the majority of school budgets got the green light from voters, spending plans did fail in a handful of districts. They include Horseheads, Corning, Prattsburgh, Fredonia, and Cortland. Those districts have to resubmit austerity measures to the taxpayers as a result of Tuesday's vote. And the tush push lives on. NFL owners have rejected a proposed plan on the short yardage running plan made famous by the Philadelphia Eagles. A proposed ban on the play from the Green Bay Packers reportedly failed by 2 votes, allowing quarterbacks to be pushed forward by offensive lines. Next at 5, Real Answers with our own Mark Webster and Christian counselor Chris Anderson. Let's listen in.
Looking for solitude in an ocean of chaos. That's our topic today on Real Answers, a regular Wednesday feature during the Family Life Noon Report, where we discuss the issues that matter to families with licensed mental health counselor Christopher Anderson. Welcome back, Chris.
Always a pleasure, Mark.
Always a pleasure to have you here. Now, we should probably start by defining exactly what we mean by seeking solitude. You know, is that getting away from it all? Is it isolation? What are we talking about?
Yeah, this is something that I go over with my clients almost on a regular basis. Trying to
understand just how are they taking care of themselves? How are they, as you said, stepping out of the chaos of life and taking care of themselves? And that would be one instance, or stepping out of the chaos of life in order to avoid dealing with the chaos of life. Those are completely different things. Mm-hmm. And the first one, stepping out in order to take care of yourself and to just kind of relax and kind of regroup and rethink and spend some time in quiet time with the Lord. The second one, again, is stepping out of the chaos of life in order to avoid dealing with it, which is actually isolating for various reasons. And that's not so productive. That's actually can be potentially harmful.
Right. Well, there's no shortage of scripture on the importance of solitude, and Jesus modeled it over and over as crowds were following him around all over the Middle East.
Yeah, absolutely. And as Christians, we're admonished to do that, to take time, have some personal quiet time for Bible study and prayer. I get how difficult that can be to engage in it consistently, but being able to step back, engage the Lord in some quiet time, in some prayer, and meditating on maybe just a few scripture verses. And then once a month, go walk in the woods or whatever really helps to kind of connect you in the best to the Lord. It might be just walking through your town. I know folks like our pastor, before Sunday morning service, he'll drive and pray over the community very early in the morning. So doing this, being mindful to do this, you got to see in the bigger picture that we are so bombarded with life's demands. Satan's going to use that if we're not careful and we don't counter that chaos with purposeful time of solitude. And again, a time of solitude is purposeful, it's time limited, and it's refreshing. And we need to see the difference, like we said earlier, between that and isolating. Isolation is when we're basically trying to avoid, and that's when our problems can get worse, when we're just trying to avoid dealing with stuff instead of coping with it and constructively dealing with it head on.
You can subscribe, listen to, and share Real Answers and all of Family Life's original podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
Proverbs 22:3 carries a warning. It reads, "The prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it." Hi, I'm Rob West with today's Faith and Finance Minute. You're setting yourself up for financial danger and suffering if you make any of the 3 big money mistakes. The first is living without a budget. You can easily avoid it by drawing up a monthly spending plan. The second is not having an emergency fund set aside, ideally 3 to 6 months living expenses. Without it, you'll constantly be surprised and unprepared for expenses that pop up. The third is not saving for retirement. Ideally, you want to set aside 10 to 15% of your paycheck for the day you can no longer work. Avoid the 3 big money mistakes and you'll be prudent indeed. Manage your finances wisely with the easy-to-use FaithFi app. Download FaithFi, Faith and Finance from your app store, or learn more at faithfi.com.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock report, how far would you travel to lend a listening ear? One man's story after weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. It's not like we need it, but we're going to get it. That is more rain. Low pressure eastbound from the Midwest is the culprit, and it will be impacting our region through the rest of the work week. Its slow departure over the holiday weekend, though, spells the likelihood of some gradual improvement in our weather as the Memorial Day weekend wears on. Gradual, the operative word. In the meantime, though, it'll be overcast, damp, and chilly tonight and tomorrow, with a good soaking rain continuing much of the time. Low tonight, 40s, high tomorrow, 50s. Friday, cloudy, chilly, additional showers, and high temperatures mostly in the 50s.
All right, Kevin, finally at 5, sometimes all we need most is someone willing to listen. Someone like retired Canadian social worker Paul Jenkinson, who's traveling across his country with 2 chairs, a table, and a sign saying, "You're not alone. I will listen." He tells the BBC how people react when he sets up shop in various public places.
They're curious, for sure. Who is this older man? People go back and forth a few times, surreptitiously getting some courage to come and sit down.
And once they do, Fitzgerald says a combination of training and life experience has given him a sympathetic ear.
I am a person 70 years old who has also experienced pain and suffering, sudden death of a daughter, earth-shattering events. I bring that to the exchange, but they really just need some space. And I just create that safe space for them.
Making a difference with a chair and a listening ear in Canada. And that's the world that we live in for Wednesday, the 21st of May. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.